Ladies and gentlemen, watch this.
You were on Piers Morgan last night.
I was.
In fact.
I was.
And you had a very interesting conversation
Yeah.
about whether or not being gay was both natural
Right.
or. So in fact, I think we have it. Can we can we bring that up?
I think the jury's still out on that. It wouldn't bother me if there was, quote, a gay gene found, because here's what we know about life. I have all kinds of natural feelings in my life, and it doesn't necessarily mean that I should act on every feeling. I do not believe attraction is a sin, but I do believe that some actions are sin.
Let me ask you this on several levels.
Sure.
You think, as a pastor, that it is possible that people are born with a natural desire,
It's possible.
but still it would be a sin, that God would create a sort of situation whereby someone could have feelings and desires that are natural to them,
Yeah.
but it's still a sin?
You know what? I don't have it all figured out. I do know this. I do know I'm called to love everybody. I am not allowed to hate anybody as a Christian.
A question coming in from Black 185 in our digital community said, do you think, I'm assuming, LGBT community and the black church can coexist?
Absolutely.
Let me push that question, because that's sort of an obvious yes. Church ain't turning nobody away. How should the black church and LGBT community exist?
I think it's going to be diverse from church to church. Every church has a different opinion on the issue, and every gay person is different. And I think that to speak the church, the black church or white church or any kind of church you want to call it, are all the same is totally not true. And all gay people are not the same. The types of relationships that are afforded are based on the types of people in each individual case.
Yeah.
And LGBTs of types and sorts have to find a household of worship that reflects what your views are and what you believe, like anybody else. And the church should have the right to have its own convictions and values. If you don't like those convictions and values, you totally disagree with it, don't try to change my house, move into your own and establish that sort of thing and find somebody who gets what you get about faith. And trust me, I've talked to enough LGBT, they are not all the same.
Oh, for sure. Any more than all Christians are the same.
No.
But how do we, first of all, has your thinking evolved on this?
Evolved and evolving. Evolved and evolving.
Now watch this.
So what did you mean by that? You think it's okay to say the word, to call people to their face?
No, actually, I said words have meaning. And so when you start allowing the perverts to dictate speech, then words just have to go away. And as I said in that clip, when I was growing up and I was reading English novels, when people say you're walking through the woods to get a it meant a bundle of sticks. And then they said you can no longer say this word that has a real meaning, right? A bundle of sticks, because some pervert took that and threw it as an epithet towards gay people. I think that's actually, that's a wrong way of thinking, because then what you're doing is you're allowing perverts to dictate society. So I don't like the death of the English language because people are getting offended. So that's like, I could pick any word. I could say, plant. And from now on, every time I see a gay guy, I'm gonna be like, he's a total plant. And then eventually they say you can't say plant anymore. It's like, no, this is a real word that has meaning. Attack the person who's perverting the word, but you don't suddenly disappear a word and you say you can no longer say it, or you can no longer read these Virginia Woolf novels because the word has been perverted. I think that's a backwards way.
Yeah.
That's my point.
You think people should
I don't think that you can suddenly say go backwards and delete words that had real meaning because someone has perverted it, because then it never stops. It just becomes constantly having to update the language for people's feelings. And I don't think that we should be doing that.
So you would never call me in my face, right?
Well, why would I just randomly call you a
I'm just meaning.
Have you ever seen the Louis C.K.
skit
on? Have you ever seen the Louis C.K. skit on?
Yeah. No, but you would never call like a gay person that to their face.
That seems like an absurd. Like, why? No, of course, I'm not just going around. I'm a 35-year-old mother. I don't go around being like, "Hey, you're." It's just like I'm not 18 years old. Like I'm not going around calling people names. Period. I wouldn't go up to a fat person and call them names. I wouldn't call it. Just like it's an absurd thing to be going around pointing and calling people names because I don't like them. I would no. So the answer is no. I would not.
Here's something interesting that we may have some common ground on. Okay. But what do you think about same-sex marriage?
It's a sin.
You think it's a sin? So you think I'm sinful?
What's that?
You think I'm sinful because I'm married to a man?
Yeah.
You do?
Yes, okay. You're sinning. You are in a sinful relationship. I actually don't believe marriage can be between two men. So I don't.
But you understand, though, Candace, and maybe we're not going to agree on this now. I thought we would. Do you understand, though, that the same Bible verses and the same scriptures that are used to call same-sex marriage sinful are used to call interracial marriage sinful as well. And so there are people who would say that you are in a sinful marriage.
Can you tell me which verse it is that would make people say?
The thing is that it's actually not there, and that people twist the Bible verses. That's my whole point. Thank you for proving that, because it doesn't say that. And it's actually, you're going to say Leviticus or whatever. It's not actually what Leviticus says. But go on. I don't want to get into specifics about the Bible, but that's not what the Bible says. It's just people using and interpreting Scripture in a way that they want to interpret it. So, look. You can believe whatever you want to believe. I don't believe that I'm in a sinful marriage, but there are people who believe, Candace Owens, that you are in a sinful marriage because you are in an interracial marriage. And I say that as someone who is in an interracial marriage, so I am doubly sinful.
Yeah, I've never heard anybody make a biblical argument against people being married that are black and white. So that's why I said, can you just tell me what verse that was? Sodomy is obviously a sin, but I've never heard a biblical argument. I'm happy to learn. I honestly, I'm happy to learn.
Sodomy is not just for gay sex, right? You know that, right? Sodomy is.
Yeah, it's a sin always, by the way.
Yeah, it's a sin between, it can be a sin between heterosexuals as well.
Yes, that's correct.
So, okay, but you've never heard that interracial marriage was sinful?
I've never heard somebody make a biblical argument for interracial. I've never, and that's why I'm saying if you could present that to me, and if maybe you're familiar with what verse that was.
Yeah, but actually it's not a biblical argument. It's also a religious argument as well, more so than anything, that you're in a sinful marriage and that black and white people should not be married.
I mean, I'm obviously very aware that people could think that ideologically, but I've never heard that biblical argument made ever in my life. And I'm happy to be proven wrong here, but I think you made that up on the spot there.
So by saying that, no, I didn't actually, but by saying that you believe that I'm in a sinful marriage, does that mean though that I should be discriminated against?
No, I've never called for discrimination.
So you believe in the separation of church and state then?
Heterosexual couples can sin as well. I mean, I hope that you deal with that. I want you to be Christian and to understand why it is that sodomy is a sin and what else it yields in society. I believe that marriage is between a man and a woman.
Yeah. But that doesn't mean that you believe that I should be discriminated against. I don't
believe
I should be able to have, under the Constitution, you believe that I have the same rights as you and other heterosexuals, and that my marriage is just as valid under the Constitution as anybody else's, including.
Well, I believe that the problem became that gets into a deeper theological discussion, but like the government should have never taken marriage away from the church. It should have been something that was maintained as a church practice. And so a lot of things happened there when the government took over and began marrying people, because then the arguments became, well, you get a tax break if you're married. And that is a way longer discussion that we can have on a different day. But to answer your question, I would never want any person based on their sins to ever be discriminated against, ever. I mean, I don't believe in discrimination. I don't believe that people should be treated differently. I think people should get help, and like we were just talking about with trans indoctrination, I believe that's a mental illness and people should seek help. But I don't believe that they should be discriminated against. I would never be okay with that. Okay. I mean, I have people that are, gay and lesbians in my life. I have cousins who are lesbians. So it's not, I don't have hatred in my heart.
You have Jewish friends? You have gay friends?
I'm trying to be funny. Well, I have gay people in my family. So that's the extent of my friendships with gay people.
Are you homophobic? No, seriously. I want to know.
You're such an absurd
I thought you would say,
being.
Of course I have gay friends.
You're just such an absurd being. First off, the person that you're just an absurd human being. Are you homophobic? Oh my God. I was just like, what does homophobia actually mean? Can you give me a definition of homophobia? If I was homophobic, would I be doing like this show? Do you think I'm like scared? Like, I'm like, oh my God, look, there's a gay man. I'm so scared. It's
not at all.
To have a phobia is like to have a phobia. A fear of, like, you think I fear like two gay men that are walking down the street holding hands, like, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I don't fear anything but God.
You see how easy that was? Now, this video has absolutely nothing to do with LGBT or homosexuality or any of that. Okay, this video has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with standing for what you believe. This is my problem with these pastors, okay? When you can sit there, whether it's T.D. Jakes, Joe Osteen, Creflo Dollar, whoever, whatever, when somebody asks you a direct question, just answer the direct question. You shouldn't have to skate all around it and start talking about what you think and all of that. If you want to be a motivational speaker and you want to just please everybody and say nice things that would inspire them like Eric Thomas does, which is great. I love to listen to Eric Thomas because he's very inspiring, but he's a motivational speaker, and he's not holding the Bible in his hand saying that he's following something that he's not actually following. That's the difference between you and Candace Owens. You guys see, Candace Owens just answered it straight up. It don't matter about whether you how the person feel. You ask me what I think about something, I tell you what I feel. If I say I follow the Bible, if homosexuality is wrong in the Bible and it's wrong and it's going against what I say I believe in, then when you come to me and ask me about it, I shouldn't have to skate around that question. I shouldn't have to be like, oh yeah, I think we can evolve, or oh yeah, well, God loves everybody. No, that's not what the Bible. See, you're not telling the truth. The Bible speaks against homosexuality, and you're holding the Bible. But when somebody asks you about it, you don't want to speak against it. So you're not following the Bible. You're scared, and there's a fear there. I don't know if it's just the money or you know. Well, I know a lot of the things that be going on with y'all, but I'm not even here to go through that right now. All I'm here to say is that's what you should do. Okay? Just say what you mean and mean what you say. You cannot say that I'm a follower of Christ and I'm a follower of this Bible. But when somebody asks you a question that may offend them, you got to straddle the fence because you don't know. See, my whole thing is like I say, once again, there is no hate towards homosexuals. There is no hate, none of that. But I will say what's wrong, and I will. And if you ask me that, whatever the case may be, whether I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, man, that's just not right. You know what I'm saying? And that's just flat out. I don't have to bow down to you and say like, well, God loves everybody. All right, you're gonna have to turn the other way and change the way you living because right now this ain't right for you, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's crazy that people don't see this because you see these people, these mega pastors with these big churches, and they always get a pass. All right. So, like for instance, like T.D. Jakes being at the Diddy party, a lot of people saying stuff like, "Well, man make mistakes." When people call Eddie Long, well, he with the little boys, they say, "Oh, man make mistakes." But the thing is, well, everybody can't make that mistake. Why do some people get a pass, but other people don't? You understand? Like that's crazy. Like I don't understand that. What's the point? And like so it is based on how much money you make if to give you a pass or not? It's not you don't get a pass. Okay? Like if you lying, you lying. It amazes me. You're doing something totally outside of the Bible. Okay? You're telling your congregation that the world is this and the world is that, and we are sanctified Christians. But then you're hanging with P. Diddy and you're at Diddy parties and all these different things, and it's a stumbling block to your congregation, but you get a pass. But the congregation don't get a pass. When they don't pay their tithes, they going to hell. Everything they do, they go to hell. But when you make a mistake, I'm human. Nah, everybody in your congregation human. We all human. We all make mistakes. We all do certain things. But your mistake is different. All right? Because you're leading a flock of people and you're saying that you believe in this Bible and you're leading a flock of people, but you're not leading them in the right direction. That's a stumbling block for them to look at you and be like, hey, he was at the Diddy party, but that's pastor though. He probably was praying for him. No, you ain't praying at no Diddy party. Not when they doing witchcraft. You understand what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not what's going on here. Nobody should get a pass. Nobody gets a pass. Right? Let the truth be the truth. You got to test the spirits of who you follow. Don't follow people just because they got this big church and all of that and the glam and the cars that they drive. This is what's wrong with the world today, because people forgot that character means a lot. Character means a lot. You understand what I'm saying? And I would rather, just be a regular person and keep my integrity of who I am than be a millionaire that got to kiss up to people, do what they say, and have dossiers on me. If I do this, then they say that. And if I do this, they'll, mess my name up in the media and make me look like somebody I'm not. I don't feel like dealing with that. You understand what I'm saying? Because really, I stand for what I stand for. And if you notice, and this what should let you know who the real people are. Everybody that speaks their mind or goes against this wicked government, they some kind of way end up canceled or just missing. Like, what happened to Lauryn Hill? Out of nowhere, like Miseducation to Lauryn Hill was one of the best albums. Was teaching young women how to be young women, how not to just get themselves to any man, how to be smart. And she didn't make it after one album. But all this other stuff you hear is about the bag, sex, money, nothing that you would want your daughter to listen to. Because as a parent, you literally gotta go to work and do all these different type of things and grocery shopping, and you could come home and they've been at school learning all this stuff about things that you got to figure out, because they learn about sex, they learn about how to pop their butt and all this stuff. Now they twerking, and you trying to get this out of them. Where'd you get this from? Well, this is what's all that's being taught. It takes a village, right? So if you doing this and you working and you doing that or whatever the case may be, and you send your kid to a school that's teaching things that's against what you teach at home, then you got a problem. You know what I'm saying? But this is what's going on here. Every time you see people get canceled or discredited, it doesn't matter. If you stand up for something, you're going to get, they're going to make they're going to make it seem like you're crazy. And the only way to be in the in crowd is to be in the in crowd. And if you see a lot of people together, that's when you should go the other way, because something ain't right there. And if you're a follower, then you'll go that way. But if you're a leader, you're going to stand on your own and do what it is that you feel is right. You understand? Money shouldn't change that. It should never be a dollar that can buy you. And that bothers me with these pastors, because they're being bought. They're being bought. They're being told to teach this and say this and do this, but you better not tell the children of Israel who they really are. You better not tell the truth of that Mary wasn't a virgin. You better not tell the truth about the real holy days. You better not say nothing. You better defend everything we tell you to defend, because we the Roman Catholic Church. We your government. We gave you that building. We got you under what's that? CB3, whatever the case may be. I don't know the word right now. I'm losing it. But you ain't, you know what I'm saying? We got you covered. You making money. You just got to do what we say do. You understand what I'm saying? And if you don't, then we'll take it off. And that's when people start to compromise. But real men don't compromise. Real women don't compromise. If a man disrespects you and slaps you, if you stay with him, you disrespected yourself. Because he gonna do it again. Ain't no man hitting you one time. I ain't never heard of that. If he slap you once, two coming. You know what I'm saying? So you disrespecting yourself. So this is the problem that I have. And I love the way that Candace Owens handled that, because she said, this is just what it is. This is how I feel. You can't change nothing about me, whether you are married to a man or not. I don't even consider your marriage a marriage. Now, you can get mad about it all you want, but that's how I feel. You asked me, you tried to lure me in with what you call me a faggot. See, that's what's crazy. You gonna lure me into that. Now, if she had took the bait and said it, then she would be, hate crime or some stuff. That's what I'm saying. Don't bait me into it. But I do feel the way I feel, and I'm gonna keep saying the way I feel. I still got that question for people. Two men can't get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So that's just what it is. But this really is just about how you handle a situation. When you say that you believe in something, when you say you a certain person, you got to be that person all the time. You can't change for anyone. And the only way you change is when you get corrected, and you may have thoughts that you was right about something that you're wrong about. Then it's time to be man enough to say, you know what, I was wrong on that. Yeah, I was wrong in that part. Yeah, so I changed that. That's a difference. Because we all learning. We all constantly learning. Like I don't know everything. Everything. I'm still a student. Until I die, I'll be a student. And that's why I hate when people start acting as if they're ordained and there's some type of God now on earth, and you're not. You got to keep learning. And obviously, you haven't learned anything, because most of the things in the Bible that's clear, you're not teaching it, but you're holding it. That's crazy to me. You talking about Christ and all of that, but like Christ said, if a person come teaching another gospel, that's Satan. This is not the gospel that's in the Bible. None of the stuff that you're hearing is of the gospel. It's feel good. It make you feel good. They play good music, dance, sing, jump around, take your money, send you home. That's all it is. You're not getting any edification, any understanding, and you're just going to sit there and let this false prophet just constantly tell you lies. It does become your fault after a certain amount of time. It does become your fault. You cannot stay naive and lost forever, because the truth is right in your face. Right? I'm not the only person that knows what's going on. There's more people out here saying the same thing I'm saying. And I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard them, and you're rejecting it because you want to feel good. But when people ask you certain questions, like just direct, like, is December 25th in the Bible, and is that Jesus' birthday? Then y'all, oh, it don't matter. It don't matter. We under grace. I know you're not, because those days came from the Roman Catholic Church, and they gave you the days that you got. But the days of the Bible are in the Bible. The holy days are in the Bible. These days are for Nimrod, for Ceramicus, for Astarte, for all of these. That you see the Statue of Liberty. These are all graven images praising demonic Babylonian practices. But now it don't matter, because you want to do the tradition, because you grew up with a Christmas tree, and you remember all of the music and Luther Vandross and all of the Donny Hathaway and all these people singing all these great Christmas carols or whatever songs. But is it right? The fact of the matter is no. All right. So this video is just about saying, stand up for what you say you believe in. If you believe in the Bible, believe in the Bible. If you're gonna follow the Bible, follow the Bible. And if you say something that may offend somebody, you can always say things in love. You don't have to be disrespectful to somebody to tell them they're wrong. And exactly what Candace Owens did. She stayed very respectful, and she just told them what it was. And that's the way it should be. It should not be you bowing down to somebody because you're scared of a status. All right. So it's Gregg James with Behind the Scriptures, and I'll see you in the next video.